everybody, welcome back to my channel. Guys, if you are new, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So it's no secret that all of us in the gun community are very well aware that the dipshit Grandmaster Jay got arrested, and supposedly today he's made bail, although I haven't found any videos of it, but the word is circling around social media saying that he did make bail. And so we're gonna talk a little bit about this guy, because it's not really about picking on the guy. It's about the stupidity of his supporters not being able to understand things. So I went on a couple of YouTubers' channels that are huge followers of him. The one off the top of my head is Ashton G. Mendez. I mean, he does his content. I ain't trying to hate on the guy. But, man, every time he does something on him, it's just non-stop. I love him, I love him, I love him. I think he should just date him. So that's the one that comes to my head. But, I've watched a lot of the other people commenting on him. They're all calling the same thing. They're saying something's not right. And they think this is a setup. And it goes back to the same crap that all these racists are saying. They blame everything on white supremacy and white people. So, guys, so you can know, Grandmaster Jay, even though he masks a lot of his stuff to be by the book, mainly when it comes to protests and, doing the paperwork and carrying guns, he is doing it the legal way. So realistically, none of us can hate on him. Also, he is a 2A supporter. So I would ask all the 2A guys to not ride him so hard. But the problem is this: I cannot ask the 2A guys to not ride him so hard, because he went from being a 2A guy to saying stupid comments that make him look more like a domestic terrorist than a 2A supporter that's exercising his constitutional rights. Meaning, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but he has these shows called Facts Over Feelings. So when he first came on the scene, I caught 2 or 3 of them. I quit watching that crap because they're like 57 minutes long. I don't have the time. And he does stress me out with his stupidity, because he's taking religion and he's tying it with some other stuff there. I get lost in there. Maybe I'm just horrible when it comes to religion. I just don't understand them. But in his show, he goes from religion to hatred towards whites. He says that he loves blacks. He don't hate white, but he loves black. But he don't never say I love whites, or I love anything else other than black. And this guy, what else has he done? He's gotten on that same channel where he does his shows, and he made a comment saying that he had some people that sooner or later, and you cannot, don't quote me on it, I'm gonna be a little bit off, but I'm around the same area, that he had people that sooner or later they would kidnap some high-ranking members' kids, and they will call him and be like, yo, I got this guy in the trunk of the car, what do you want to do? Well, when you're on YouTube, the whole world watches these videos, and when you say that you want to form a black militia and you want to protect blacks, we get you. But when you say stuff like, yeah, we're going to start kidnapping some of y'all motherfuckers, and we're going to start executing people, that doesn't come off as a militia exercising their rights. That comes off as domestic terrorism. You're spreading fear and you're causing chaos. Another thing is, when he did the last march, I think it was the Louisville one, where they had the negligent discharge, towards the end of the march, he was talking about maybe these people out of storm into Congress or Senate or something, and tell these people, yo, you're done, and you're leaving, and they're leaving by force. So he's, hinting to his people that maybe they should start taking out government officials by force without having fair and honest elections. So stuff like this could probably be one of the reasons why the feds is on his ass. Another thing is this: he says that he's in the army. I never been in the army, so I don't know. I was Marine Corps, but in the military, at least in the Marine Corps, weapon safety is something that we always exercise since you're a recruit in boot camp to the day you get out. And even as civilians, as myself, I've been teaching firearms for 17 years. I still practice what I preach when it comes to weapon safety. But this guy's a total idiot. I don't think this guy really learned any type of weapons safety or weapons safe handling, because from what I read, it says that the feds were charging him for aiming a firearm at them. So my question to Grandmaster J would be, brother, if you were in the military and you are supposedly the weapons expert, which is pretty clear that the whole world that has seen your YouTube videos knows you're not by far. You know, if you understand the weapons safe handling rules, which are treat every weapon as if it were loaded, never point your weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot, keep your finger straight enough the trigger until you're going to fire, and keep your weapon unsafe until you're going to fire, why would you aim your barrel up at the roof of the buildings if you know they're watching you? I mean, who you think is going to be there at nighttime watching you? Tourists? You damn well know we're the feds. Think about it. You brought so many thousands of people armed to support you to a rally. Don't you think that a couple thousand rifles on the street in open public are going to draw the attention of law enforcement or federal government agents? So realistically, excuse me, you have no one to blame but yourself. Why would you aim that barrel up? You know, I don't really care if you get arrested or not. I definitely don't want to see you rot in jail. I just think you're an idiot. But I think you're, I guess, somewhere in there trying to be righteous and you're not making the calls the right way. So I'm no one to tell you how to run a militia, because I'm not in one, nor have I ever been in one, nor do I want to have one or run one. But you know, all these headaches you're dealing with right now, you can only blame yourself for them. Next time you choose to get on social media and start barking, make sure that you don't bark louder than what you can bite, because obviously the feds are on your ass now. A whole bunch of people in the 2A community don't support you. And the thing is this, all your followers are going to say that they don't support you because they're white supremacists, which that shit has been played out already way too long. You know, a lot of the people in the 2A community are probably not going to support you because of your stupid comments. You're no longer exercising your Second Amendment rights. You're actually trying to form a military, I guess, to fight a race war or overthrow elected officials without having fair elections. So once you get out, hopefully you'll have a lawyer. The word on the street is that they did a GoFundMe for you. I don't think you should have one. And you know why? When this kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, shot the 3 shitbags in Kenosha, I understand 2 died and 1 was seriously wounded. Kyle Rittenhouse, I don't want to call him a hero, but I want to say he did the right thing, because he does have the right to self-preservation. So he preserved his life by taking out 2 garbage human beings. I'm sorry, let me call it for what it is. 2 pieces of shit. And he wounded another piece of shit. And he wasn't allowed to have a GoFundMe. Everyone started attacking him. And if you really watch the video, he shot and he walked towards the police, put his rifle down, hands up. He was willing to turn himself in. You know, and he still did when the cops picked him up the next day. So just like how many people are hating on that kid, you know, and they didn't want him to have a GoFundMe, I don't want you to have a GoFundMe, because you're a piece of shit yourself. And you're not really doing nothing for the community other than agitating people and stirring the pot. So you can know, Grandmaster J, I lived in New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Kentucky. I have met white people that are what you will call racist. I call them ignorant or stupid, not really racist. I think it takes a lot to be called a racist. Usually people that get categorized in that just don't know any better. When they get to know us, they're not their same skin color and type, and they get to see that we have a lot in common. The only difference is the color of our skin. A lot of them do feel bad, and you know, they apologize for their behaviors. And one of my best friends didn't like me for me being a city boy, and now he's my best friend, and we have nothing in common. I love this guy to death. He's a really, really great guy, and I'll take a bullet for him any given day. And I know he would do it for me too. So we started off as not liking each other over him being a country folk and me being a city boy, and we ended up being like brothers. Actually, I think me and this guy are tighter than brothers. We really, really are great friends, and we have a really tight bond. So I don't want to jump the gun and start labeling people racist without, having the correct amount of information. I would say people that don't like us because our color is different, they don't like us because they don't know us. Once they get to know us and they see we're not much different, they do change the way they view us through their eyes. So let's keep the racist card out of this crap. You personally are taking followers that are putting their trust and faith in you, and you're stirring the pot. You keep attacking the KKK. I lived in all these states, man. I've never seen the KKK. I seen them on Netflix on little documentaries. It's like 10 or 20 idiots out there in some hillbilly town that has like maybe one grocery store, one movie theater, one Walmart, one Huddle House, one Waffle House, and that's pretty much it. So I don't understand where is it that you have this thing with the Klan, because I've been all over the place. I've yet to run into the Klan, and I traveled just like you. By the way, so you guys that follow him know, all you guys that keep defending him saying he's a weapons expert because he's in the army, to my understanding, he was a supply soldier or a supply sergeant. So you guys can know, just because you are in the military, if you don't have an infantry job or a combat arms job, you're probably not gonna know anything about weapons. So all you guys that follow Grandmaster Jay and you think he's gonna take you to the Holy Land, he's gonna get you in a lot of trouble. Look, when you're a supply sergeant or a supply personnel in the military, what you do is you put on your uniform and you go work at a warehouse. That's it. When you're administrative, whatever in the military, you put on your uniform and you go sit behind a desk. So pretty much, unless you are attached to a combat unit, you're probably not gonna see the field. And more than likely, when you do see the field, it's gonna be very bare minimum. So a lot of these guys, and it goes for every branch. And like I said, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, just prove me wrong. I don't care. I don't mind no one commenting and telling me I'm right or I'm wrong. But every branch, if you have a soldier or airman or seaman or marine or whatever, if you're not in the infantry or in combat arms, you're pretty much gonna just put on camouflage and go work a 9 to 5. So a lot of these guys, what they did was their boot camp, and that's pretty much like their only combat time was being yelled at and just kind of like getting herded through the phases like cattle. So you guys are standing next to Grandmaster Jay and you're like, oh yeah, I love him, he's a weapons expert. No, he doesn't know shit. And all the videos he's made about guns that he's posted on YouTube, the whole world has seen it. People in the Spec Ops community seen it, law enforcement seen it, firearm instructors like myself seen it, veterans like myself seen it, combat veterans like myself seen it. And everyone will tell you that a lot of the information he put is inaccurate. So for you guys that are following this guy, just don't waste your time. He's gonna start some shit and get a lot of you guys in trouble, and it's just not worth it. I tell you what, I never met this gentleman. He's on YouTube. His name is Heavy Duty Country, and I never met the other gentleman. His channel is called Black Scout Survival. If you watch these guys' channels, I mean, these guys do really in-depth videos on them. When I do these videos on YouTube, I use my cell phone. I don't know how to vlog like some of these guys do. So some of these guys actually go in there and just get all the information and they copy and paste it and they edit it into their channel. And if you watch what these guys release in content about this clown, Grandmaster Jay, you'll have a really good understanding. You might even have a better understanding of him than the stuff that I talk about. Because I'm just a guy sitting in my work area with, my cool little background of guns, trying to educate people. But, my 2 cents is this guy's a fraud. I don't really know what's up with the arrest. Because if you notice on his rallies, whenever there was a negligent discharge, law enforcement moved in right there and then. Apparently this guy aimed the rifle up in, August, September, and now in December they're coming for him. I don't buy it. I don't even know what to think about it. I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist, but I really don't buy it. Me personally, I would say my personal opinion, somebody in the federal government that knows the laws really, really good, just reviewed everything and realized that he found a gap in the loophole of how to make an arrest, and saw that he could tie him into making an arrest for that motion and capitalized on it. And again, the only person you have to blame for yourself is you, Grandmaster J. You're the idiot that wanted to walk around with your rifle in the air. Why couldn't you be like the rest of your followers? Just aim it to the ground. If you know you have a light on your rifle and you want to use the flashlight, hey, what are the weapon safety handling rules? Treat every weapon as if it were loaded, and don't point your weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot, right? Why the hell would you aim that barrel up because you want to use the flashlight? Didn't your other 5,000 followers have any other crap on their gear? I know you wear airsoft gear to your stuff, but what about the other people that show up in your militia wearing real gear? Nobody could have given you a better flashlight? Come on, man. And now you're going to probably go back on YouTube and make all these videos about white supremacy. Dude, you got yourself arrested for being an idiot. Like I said, I hope you don't get fried. But if you do, you have no one to blame for yourself. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Guys, please remember, things outside are crazy. We are living in some off-the-wall times. Please make sure you take care of yourselves. And if you do not have a firearm, make sure you have one on you at all times. As long as you don't have a liberal government and you can keep them on your person legally. Guys, that's going to be it for the video. Have a good night.